Good morning, it's Lindy from Swansea Sports Therapies. Because I've been doing a lot of massaging on the back, I'm going to just film a little tutorial about how to stretch your piriformis. Now the piriformis is a small muscle right in the centre of the glutes, which is just above the sciatic nerve. When it gets really tight, and it is on a lot of us, it can cause a lot of problems. So one problem is people tend to get a bad back across here. Sometimes it can radiate around the front as well. You can sometimes feel your glutes are tight. So if you're quite body aware, you can't get your leg in positions like this, so you might struggle to put your shoes on. This type of action can be like, oh, take your breath away. You might have symptoms of sciatica, so the most common one is it radiates down the leg. Sometimes it's actually piriformis syndrome. It gets misdiagnosed as sciatica or self-diagnosed as sciatica, but it's usually on because this particular muscle is tight. And I think I've probably seen at least 6 people this week who are suffering from this. So yeah, it tends to be bad back here, tight glutes, radiates down the leg, anything from these types of movements. So let me show you some basic stretches that you can do. And I am quite out of practice with this myself, so it's quite good to show you this. The first one was nicknamed the number 4 stretch because it looks like a number 4. So if you bring your right leg across, turn that knee out. So let me just, for the purpose of the camera, just turn this way. It's here like so. Now if you have got a sciatica, you probably wouldn't be able to do this if you're really, really bad at the moment, because most people can't even get their leg there. But if you're in the sort of stage where you're sort of recovering from it, you should be able to hopefully get into that. That is the easiest stage of this particular stretch. So for me, I can't feel that at all because I'm a little bit more flexible. And the next level is to bring the knees up and link your hands through the gap of the leg and underneath the knee of the underneath leg. So I've got my left leg across, got my right leg on the floor, going to reach through the gap, lace the fingers underneath the right leg. And what I normally do in a class situation is I used to hand out what I call a Dynaband. They got various different names. So if I had a participant who is less flexible, and you can use a tie, grab your partner's tie, you can use string, you don't have to use a band, you can use a hand towel. You can put this through and draw the legs in that way. So you can just cross the handles over, and what we're really aiming for is to get the knees in as close as possible. So now I can feel that in the left leg, in the glutes, and that's what we want you to do. Now there's a variation like this, which I absolutely love that. So if you're using a band, depends on flexibility again, or use a tie or use a hand towel, you can draw the leg in like that. That's a really, really good stretch. So just for the purpose of demonstration, I would be holding this for a good couple of minutes to try to loosen up that small little muscle called the piriformis. So both feet then go down. If I show you the difference, my left leg is much worse. I always get a tight piriformis in this leg. And then I get a bad bit in my left side of my lower back. So that's not too bad. But when I go to bring my knees in, I can't get them nowhere near as close as the other side. So I would need to probably hold this a bit longer. So that's, you've got the option where you just stay down. You've got the next option where you bring the knees in and you hook underneath the leg that is supporting the other leg. So this gets complicated. So if this is your right leg on top, you're going through the middle of the legs and you're lacing your fingers underneath your left leg. If you find it really hard to do that stretch and you've got restricted mobility or flexibility, use the band and hook it under the leg and bring that leg in. So I would take it here under the knee of my left leg and above the foot of the right leg. I'm going to face this way actually. Can you see that better that way? Aha. So we've got the band there above this foot. It's really important we get in the right position. Hug the knees in. I like to do that one because I can get my knees a bit closer. So I'd be looking to hold that stretch. Just keep holding it till you feel that release. Excellent. So I'm going to show a more advanced level because some of the people that come to me are very flexible. Such a deep-seated muscle that if you feel that you're not getting to the outside of the glute enough, you turn your fingers out to the side. This is advanced, okay? Lift up the buttocks. So if we pick up, say that's your right leg then, bring that across, and then you want to sit down, but you want to get your back straight. So i.e., you're not slumping like this. So if your back is arching, you need to bring the legs further out a little bit like that. So if I show you this way, if your back is slumping down like that, you need to bring the feet out and then sit taller and keep both buttocks on the floor, because what happens when we bring this leg across is we end up going a bit wonky. So we sort of lean that way and then this buttock comes off the ground. So you want to keep both buttocks down. I'm going to see if I can put mine in a bit closer. Yeah, that's got it now. I can feel that stretch now, my glute. So we want to imagine you're leaning against the wall, and in fact you can also do this against the wall and get deep into the glutes as we do this. So I'd recommend holding this for a couple of minutes each day if you can try and fit that in. And then I'm going to go on the other side, but this side's not as bad for me. I can get there quite easily. But yeah, again, chest is lifted, the back is straight, both buttocks are down on the ground so that we're not kind of leaning to one side. And that is an absolutely fantastic stretch. So what do we have there? We had the lying down one, both feet on the floor. Number 4, bringing the knees up, and then the one with the underneath legs straight. So we've had 4 exercises this morning that are fantastic for your piriformis. And I recommend that you do try and keep this flexible, because when that muscle's tight, it really causes havoc. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.